Welcome back to the number one podcast in Durham region, the Mr.X Files, with John Mutton, Mr. X.
Live from Murderer's Row Bar, this is the Mr.X Files. And here is my co-host, Ben Fudge.
Good to be here, John.
Good to be here. Hey, and the Packers won last night, and all I could think was Fudge Packer. I tell you, man.
I got to get myself a Packer. I've always wanted a Packers jersey that says Fudge on the back.
I like that. I like that. Yeah, we got to get him one. Absolutely, we got to get him one.
I'm getting my questions out here. First thing I wanted to ask you is, because a lot of people are sort of confused when it comes to tariffs.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask you, what is a tariff? Mm-hmm. And if Trump says that he's going to impose tariffs on Canadian goods, what does that mean?
Yeah, he makes a lot more money down there because if we want to sell the goods in the United States, then it raises the prices. It raises the prices there, but it raises the cost for their consumers. But they're also generating a hell of a lot more tax money. That's why they've got the surpluses. But it's terrible for the economy because the people that are making the money are the governments.
I think the misunderstanding for a lot of people is when they say that Trump is imposing taxes on Canada, they think that we're going to pay them. We don't pay them. It's the people in the States who are going to buy products that come from Canada who are going to buy who are going to pay.
Well, we actually have to. It's like that's basically the way it works. Yeah.
So if he's going
the only people making money on the tariffs are the governments.
Yeah, it's just a tax.
Yeah.
It's a tax that a consumer there has to pay.
Yeah, it's a tax trying to direct the supply and demand of a product.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if they have to pay 10% more on a Canadian product, it's more incentive for them to buy an American product.
Correct. Yes.
So really, it's not going to. So then when our government says we're going to counter them and we're going to impose tariffs, it's like saying, I heard the neighbor is beating their kid, so I'm going to beat my kid too. Yeah,
exactly right. Yeah, and they're all beating each other's kids. You know, the ones that are benefiting are the government benefiting off of the increased tax revenue. However, it's going to slow down the economy sooner or later, so there'll be less tax revenue on the gross domestic product.
So now that we got that out of the way, we talked. Okay, so the big news this week is Ford and his $75 million ad campaign, and I was just the number blew me away. 75 million. I'm like, how do you spend 75 million on that cartoon or that video is not a really over edited video, but I guess the 75 million went towards paying the American advertisers to cover it.
That's an awful lot of money, $75 million to spend on advertising, and okay. Who made all the money here producing the video and the ad as well?
Like, and where did the money come from?
I'd like to. Well, the government can, general government funds. Do you think they spend, like $10 million on pencils and erasers a year? Obviously not, right? So, I'm pretty sure that you're going to see at the end of the day that there's going to be a real concern about who got paid what here to produce the ad.
Again, probably in this inside circle.
Oh, of course it's in the inside circle. We had the green belt the first week. Then we had to talk on the skills development fund. And I got some emails in. Oh, what's next? What's next? So, I was looking at Ministry of Infrastructure and all the water and grants. And so I just did some quick work on that. And I heard some rumors and some stories. So, same cast of characters. I see something like 34 or 35 clients represented by On Point Strategy, which is Nico Fidani-Diker, who tried to throw me under the bus on the Greenbelt and who's heavily involved in the Skills Development Fund. Well, he had like 34 clients to lobby for with the Ministry of Infrastructure. That's Kinga Surma. And I see that the region of York were mentioned like 4 times in the town of Bradford, West Gwillimbury. Why in the fuck does a municipality need to hire a lobbyist to fill out an application and get infrastructure funds? Basically, when you go for infrastructure funds, I know this, or any type of grant, you have your grant writer in the municipality or whatever organization you are. They fill out the grant. You submit the grant. Your mayors and your regional chair, they go and they contact the MPP for the area, say we've got a really good application coming in, and then it's graded like it should be. So somebody with a real high grade for infrastructure where it's going to generate so much economic development or so much in housing, they would be more the people that would get the infrastructure funds. But why should another level of government, being the regional municipality of York or the town of Bradford, West Gwillimbury, why should they be paying a lobbyist to get government funds when they're a level of government? I can't figure it out. All that means to me is that there's something at work. There's something that just doesn't pass the fucking smell test on that one, Ben.
Let's say if it looks like a duck and it smells like a duck.
Yeah.
So we have the commercial, the $75 million commercial.
Yes.
We have Ford dumping out a Crown Royal on TV.
Yeah.
We have the Pacini scandals.
Yes.
Some people are saying Ford is acting reckless, and that he doesn't speak doesn't speak for Ontarians, or he definitely doesn't speak for Canadians. So I was just wondering if I think his heart is in the right place, but he might be showing off a little too much.
Well, I like Doug. I think that I think he totally means well. Once again, I will say I don't believe that Doug has ever been involved in anything nefarious. I think he's straight up. But when it comes to some ministers, not all by any means, but a lot of those political staffers, there's something going on. Like $75 million for that ad that you're going to pull right away after the first World Series and after the first couple of World Series games. It's questionable. Obviously, the Skills Development Fund issue, and now I think we've got have to take a real hard look at those infrastructure funds and the same cast of characters. But I think Doug's a strong leader. It's just that some of those people underneath him are the tail wagging the dog, or the inmates running the asylum. So they really got to get to the bottom of those guys running around like that, because this is a party that I've supported and I want to continue to support, and this is a leader that I wanted to continue to support. But some of these people are just making it so appear so filthy.
Well, I'll tell you, from my perspective, when I saw him pouring out the Crown Royal on TV and saying, "Eat the Chapman's ice cream," I thought it was pretty cool. I thought it was a cool option.
Well, he's the kind of guy like that, because remember a few years ago, he went into Tim Hortons and he was really impressed that they were using real eggs in the sandwiches. And he came out and he started talking about that. The Crown Royal, whoever on his communication team was in charge of that should have pulled out the flow regulator so it poured right out. He didn't have to do it like that.
You're not the first person who said that.
Yeah.
Even the ridiculous shit I've heard that before.
I know. It's just like that bottle of ketchup that you can't, And then and with the ice cream, that's him. That's him. He's a genuine, regular type of guy. He's not nefarious by any means. Like I say, I speak highly of him. But again, he's got some, a minister or maybe more, I don't know, in place that shouldn't be there. And there's a pile of political staff that seem to be hovering around where all the funds are expensed to certain friendlies of the party. And that doesn't pass any smell test. And that's what defeats governments.
Well, Carney was up early, 8 o'clock Monday morning on the news, saying that Ford should be quiet and let the feds speak for the feds.
Well, I agree that the feds should speak for the feds, and I understand that Ontario and like Doug, we got a big stake in it. I don't know how much more the federal government can fuck up and how much more of a pussy than the federal Liberals can be. So we kind of need a guy with a backbone like Doug, but I don't know what this does with the whole picture across Canada. Do all the premiers agree with the ad? Or do all the premiers want to take that pansy approach that is taken by Carney? And then, but you look on the other side,
it's 6, 7.
Come see us next week where we're going to be drilling down to some more of those issues that they don't want you to know about.
The opinions in the preceding program are totally fucked, so don't fuck with me.